Now the next thing I want to show you came up in I don't remember how I got into this situation, but this was when I was still stuck on the idea that I could maybe I could add privileges to an account. Okay. Now, it was probably just accidental that I did what I did. Okay. Now, I had copied this add privileges function out of the help, and of course nothing was working as usual. And first this wouldn't work. So let's see now. And I had copied this one too, and I think it was this. Yes, that's a valid flag. And there was nothing here. Now this is again to do with local authority, local system authority, which uses in all of its function calls a special kind of string that's a structure. So everything's always Unicode, and it has a length and a max size and so on. So I made a little wrapper around that to simplify things. So the first thing you got to do if you want to use any of these functions is open a policy. You see, if I want to add a privilege, I need an account SID, which I have, and a policy handle. Well, I don't have a policy handle, so check in the help, and then they gave me this code here, opening a policy, and I think it says here's the code, blah blah blah, copied exactly, except instead of Unicode, I can use either. It converts this to a Unicode thing. Now, okay, so these are the things. I also made a little auto-releasing handle thing, and all set to go. And of course, I couldn't open the policy. Now, stat here it's come back as a great big negative number, and they have a function that converts their error codes into Windows error codes, and that result becomes 5, and I'm sure you know what that is. And so what I was doing was set last error to whatever I got, and then use this assertion access denied. Okay. Eventually, I looked at this and I realized, oh my God, I don't have any of these privileges. I can't create a privilege. Well, maybe I can just look at them, right? So what I want to do is just look at the privileges. So I reduced this, and it's in order. This one only requires where is it? Enumerate rights requires. Where does it say? Only. Oh, look up. All I need is one right. Right? To open the policy object. Okay. So I'm going to put that one little right in the thing, and I must have done something wrong because I thought for some reason that it didn't work, but in fact it works. We'll see. I mean, this part works. This error code is fine. Then I get my SID and new function for that. Trace this out now just to make sure that it's the correct one. That's certainly me, 1005. And I pass in all the correct things: the handle, the SID, a pointer to a P rights, and it's, you know, I'm supposed to free that when after it will definitely succeed, right? And then I'm going to trace them all out. No problem. And then, oh, error code 2. Now, cannot find the file specified. I thought, and I really don't remember how. But for some reason, I thought that maybe what I'm supposed to do is to use this impersonation thing, and so I tried, just for fun anyway. Now, I wanted to get I thought I could maybe open an access token with all access. Okay, so if you try that just on its own, like just elevate the access of my, because it says file not found, seems like it maybe it wasn't, this process wasn't able to retrieve something from registry or something or other. So first I tried this with all access, and it should fail. Oops. This is really pointless to go through this part, but it succeeded. It's a bool. Okay, well, alright. And then this succeeds. And I do that. Everything going along just great. I got a policy. And I get last error 2 again. Cannot find file. Again, I don't remember why, but for some reason, I had mistakenly thought that this had failed, something maybe. So I wanted to try this open thread token, just for fun. which has a parameter here. You can say open as the parameters here. One of them is open as self. Okay. Now, the reason why I thought maybe this might help is was because I thought I could impersonate myself with a higher privilege level. And also, open thread token does only works on an impersonation token. This thing. Use open process token to retrieve the handle to a primary token. Use open thread token to retrieve a handle to the impersonation token of a thread. For more, see blah blah blah. Now, I still don't really understand what that says, but I understood it at the time as meaning open thread token requires an impersonate. It requires you to have been requires you to impersonate someone or something to succeed. So anyway, I tried some things with this changing my identity, and it appeared to do things like allow me to have more rights and stuff. Something like this. Now but this has nothing to do with what I'm trying to get at. So let me just put the code in and just show you what happened. Now, where was I? So I thought, for some reason or other, whatever the reason was, I'm going to try this impersonate self, and it turned out that there are 4 possible constants, and only one of them succeeds. Okay, so we've managed to impersonate myself. And actually, I think I could even elevate this to policy all access or something. Is that what it was? The one that failed before? Let's see. Maybe it won't work. Something succeeds that didn't before. Okay, so I certainly was able to get token all access. Okay, no, it failed. Alright. So then I go here and hit this, and well, I got this error just printing out the error string. And what happened at that point? Well, first off, I can see what the error is here, because some kind of access violation occurred. Some problem with the handle. But error code 6, right, if you look at the win errors, right? It's listed in there. It's not an unknown error. It's invalid handle. It matches perfectly. So why am I getting? Why is format message A failing? Right? And it was very strange. And I kept fiddling around and trying to find out. One thing I did was I traced through the assembler to see that if it was going to the right DLL and so on. And it was going. It seemed to be the correct address. And somehow I thought I wasn't making any association with this. I thought it had something to do with this LSA stuff. Okay, messing up the loaded DLLs, and I'd go to here again. Whoops, I want to keep it running. Okay, and then I go and check and see, well, okay, let's see if the tool error lookup tool is going to work. That works. Running in the same box, format message, everything's fine, and it's not working. then I tried tracing it out. Okay. Well, what happens if I just say trace whatever the thing is, get win32 here desk the string. I need a number 6. And I know that when I was getting errors before, so I tried 0 actually. Well, I tried 6 and I tried 0. 6 didn't work, so I tried 0, which I knew works because it worked before. Same problem. And so then did I mention that I ended up putting a get proc address here and like load DLL kernel 32 where this is, get proc address, right, and run the function and see that it's the same address, and everything was exactly the same, no differences. Then I did this. I was trying. I got rid of all the LSA stuff, and eventually I figured it out. But at one point I tried this. Okay, so I add this here. Oh no, not there. Sorry. This is going to fail. Somehow I put it like right at the top, okay, beginning of the program, just like sanity check. I haven't done anything yet. It should work. Works. Okay, operation complete successfully. Okay, now I go here. And now it's working. You see? Now, you gotta ask yourself, a lot happened in between those two steps. For one thing, I was trying to figure out where it loads, what DLL it loads those strings from. And I was using this dependency walker. And I noticed that every time I'd check like dependencies, you know, and I was looking at the one to do with that little tool thing, right? And there's this warning that comes up, and I'm looking through, and look at what the warning is: win core, win runtime, string, RT error, like string errors. So I thought this has got to be the problem, that it's not loading these, but the same little dialogue thing, they can't load these functions. It was getting the correct string. I thought it was very strange, and I looked online, and again I misread something, but it's still quite interesting. First, I found I was looking for something to do with the strings, right? So I used my batch file, or error or something. WM error. Okay, so I tried that. SP error. Let's see now. There's the ones I'm expecting to find. I don't see them. Oh yes, yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah, it was one of these ones in here. I was looking for this. Okay, and then I got curious. I went dir slash API star, and then a whole bunch of these things, right? And they're all quite small. And I found this article online. And what these things are, according to the article, are like stubs. Okay? And this is something called API layering. Now, I didn't read this closely enough, as I usually don't. And I thought that when I read this line, they do not exist on the disk, and that seemed to correspond with, you know, this cannot find DLL thing, right? But in fact, they do exist on the disk. That only applied to data. But anyways, so there are all these stub things, and And so what he was showing here is that maybe this only applies to the beta version, but it's not true. But I did see the same sorts of things. It would show these dependencies, right? And then when you look in Process Explorer, you didn't see them. Everything appeared to be agreeing with the article. Anyway, that somehow seemed to have something to do with it. It looked like there are these virtual stub DLLs, and somehow by changing my security context, I was unable to see them. The other thing about these, by the way, is they're all hidden. See? And only those. Nothing else is hidden. In all of System 32, oh, maybe that, I don't know what that says, but pretty much that's it, right? Okay, a couple others. So I thought, well, maybe that's why they're hidden, but no, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. But my security context changed, and I thought that, like one of these things, one of the APIs is LSA lookup, right? And perhaps by changing my security context, some of these redirections stop working, and the ones that were already established were okay, because if you look, okay, follow this through. Remember, this worked, and it worked again, right? Now, suppose I did take these things, and put them where they belong, just in front of open policy here. Come on. You see, I couldn't get the computer name. That failed. Okay. Now suppose I call get computer name before I call the impersonate and run the same. Now it works, you see? So, like, after impersonate self, it's sort of like, not only did the security context change, but all sorts of functions have stopped working. It's almost like allocations have stopped working. No memory can be allocated, or if it's being allocated, it's going to the wrong thread or something, right? Like maybe perhaps get computer name is allocated once in the system, and next time it just retrieves the previous pointer. Something like that. Okay, but then I realized, okay, and then what happens? Like get rid of these, and I try this. Get rid of the impersonation. Okay. Now you'll see that everything works again. See? Of course, the open policy will fail. And the result is now it's 5. That's correct. It should be access denied. So I have no idea what that means. I mean, I don't understand what happened. What did this do? You know, I know that it says that my security context changed, but something else changed, and I'm not sure exactly what. Like, it's almost like it entered a new virtual space, but that can't be the case because functions called before this continue to be working after. Very confusing. Now, hang on a sec. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about that. I can't think of anything that I missed. So, but still, the impersonation stuff is certainly something that's going to be important. Now I'm going to show you one other thing. This is the super user box, right? If I can close this thing. This has this command prompt here. Oh God, this command prompt thing here. I gave permission to run, and what that does, I now understand, or now I believe, I think I understand, means that it is running on behalf of me. Okay, it's running on my behalf. So this program, although it's running with a primary token, it's running as me, right? It's not running as another user, right? If I say, who am I? That's me, right? It doesn't say any administrator or anything like that. And that little program also prints out my name. Now, when I was just running the compiler there, I had and have always been launching it from the minimum security box here. First, because I didn't think it made any difference. You know, what it's its own program. It's not going to have minimum rights. It can debug, and this thing can't. I can't debug from within here, right? I don't have that privilege. Debug is one of the privileges and I don't have it. You know, I can't enable that. So if I guess that adds to the confusion, because when I run Developer Studio from here and run the token thing, okay. Oh no. Oh, I ruined something. Going back to this program. First, it probably needs to be recompiled. But we'll see. I'm just going to run it first. And just see the output in here. See, you see? Number of privileges, 23. That is, the program ran from that box, from the super box, as administrator, as me, as the regular me. So now I can actually enable and disable all of these privileges. So I can actually go back to this LSA thing and start doing what I wanted to do in the first place, which is to try out some of those functions. And you know, I don't have to revert to self or impersonate or do anything. I'm in God mode now, with the debugger. I don't want that. I don't need this. Everything should work now, right? But what I wanted to know, and this is another thing, what I wanted to know was, how is it that sometimes when a program runs, it asks me for permissions, right? And how come I can't just, you know, make a program that does tries to do some privileged thing, and just have it ask for my permission? How come I can't write a program that essentially that imitates a run as type thing, right? How come? What I tried to do is, as an experiment, was see how you even got it here. I commented everything out. Well, first, as the nobody user. So close that down. We'll open up the crippled Developer Studio, and I'm going to make a registry object, and I'm going to use HT local machine privilege, and make up some key value. Prove that I can't do this. If I don't see that I can't do this, r.put I hate that. D word. 5 by 14. Yeah. Alright. And I think this returns error code. I really need a assert. assert whatever the last error was. I want to be back here. Okay, here we go. Parameter is incorrect. Oh yeah, right. Software. Now that succeeded. I'm not. This is the non-privileged user. So what's going on? So here's my other thing. Get rid of that. Software proof. Let's copy it down. Search. Okay, well I can tell you now it's not going to find it in that key. Guess where it finds it? See? It's in something called virtual store machine software proof that I can't do this. So I can do it, but it's not. It's only going to my local current user pretend H key local machine thing, and for some reason a couple other programs are aware of that, are not aware of that. Now, so that didn't bring up the prompt. I wanted to bring up the prompt, see, so that someone could click approve and let me have access to this thing. Now let's try running this as the super user. Probably should have refreshed. It's in software. It's supposed to be in software. No, I didn't refresh this. So I should refresh first. Just from here, so I know I'm going to find it. Alright. No, see, it's there. Just the search is slow. It's there, right? But it wasn't there before. I can promise you. Well, I'll delete it, and I'll run this as the crippled user. So see, the problem is, from the point of view, I'm hitting F5. From the point of view of my program, I can't tell if it worked or not. I can write to that key and I can read from it, and my program always works, right? It doesn't say you need administrator privilege like other programs do, like this link does. There's a link that opened this, which uses run as, or installer programs that you try to run, and it says that if the program wants to make a change to your system, will you allow it or not? I want to make a program that asks that question, and I can't really figure out how to do that. But what I think might be involved is something to do with this manifest, something to do with the manifest part in the executable image. Otherwise, if you want to make a global change, like putting something in here, it's not going to go there. It's going to go nowhere. Okay, so that's another thing I learned. Is there anything else on my list? So LSA now is open for business. I can explore the functionality and see what I can do with it. And I also found, what I'm starting to understand is the outline of what's going on here. Like there are real organizations and real administrators and real networks and so on in the world, okay? And for those people who are running such organizations and trying to maintain the network and do all the things that I've been talking about, they need software which is flexible enough so that they can do the kinds of things like restrict access based on group associations and so on, allow access, certain kinds of access, revoke, be able to configure their machine in a relatively arbitrary way. And the interface for doing that does exist on your home computer too, even though it's of absolutely no use for a personal computer. They still include it. Where is that thing there? It might be in here somewhere. I don't know if you're hearing that horrible noise. Maybe it was in here. Or here. It's not this. This hardly does anything. But there's a whole. Oh, what the hell? Oh, here it is. This is it. Local security policy. Now, this is something that isn't that LSA is required for. Okay. Now, some company provides LSA. Okay. In order to allow management of these policies for a network. Like I don't know. I don't think I have nothing there. Audit. I don't think Okay, first thing has got to be the user rights assignment. Okay, now see, all you do is, if you're like the person who's trying to administer the network, is you make up groups, right? And there's a specific list of things that people can do, right? And in order to allow and disallow people to do things, it's quite easy. You just invent various groups and include them or not in those groups. Sometimes it would be a bad thing to be a member of a group. Right? So you could have a group whose job is to deny something, right? Oh well, that's not associated with a group. But if it was, then all you got to do is put a particular user in that group, and they won't be able to do that. Okay, and now see, I'm not sure. Last time I said that you can't specify specific users, but I'm not sure if that's true anymore. But it's not so important. But if you look at this, bypass traverse checking. Okay, now all of this is being implemented by LSA, by the way. Even though maybe this box too. There are certain functions that have to be supported in order so that these types of interactive sessions can be controlled. Okay. Now, whoever wrote the LSA, I don't think it was Microsoft. I think it doesn't have to be anyway. It's like when you use a security agency, to protect your house. You don't have to use the police. You could hire your own private protection agency. And see, this is talking about policies and stuff. And those things are called packages. The things that were LSA, the things that implement LSA are called packages, and they don't have to be provided by Microsoft. Where'd that help file go? Oh, of course, I don't have the help file. Now, if there was only some way I could get to low-level access control model and securable objects, anonymous, and access control list. No. I know it's around. It's not too far away. Darn it. Search for the word policy. No, package. I don't know. Okay, see? Authentication packages. Authentication package. A DLL that encapsulates the authentication logic used to determine whether to permit logons. LSA authenticates the user logon by sending the thing through the package. Okay. Okay. Called by authentication packages. Okay. Now these functions you don't have to call yourself. These are called by the provider of the package. These are the functions that must be implemented by the designer of an LSA package. Now the SSP API is also part of local system authority, I guess. Package management, credential management. Okay, well, all of this here is really the help file for a company which might wish to be a security support provider, to provide basic security packages for various companies, maybe using different encryption or so on and so on. And I think that the one that you get by default, I don't know who wrote it. There's probably a function you can call that will tell you what the source is, but I don't think it's Microsoft. But I don't know. Maybe I'll find out how to find it out. Security support provider. Windows distributed security. I think the idea is anyway that if it's something that is not that is exclusively provided by Microsoft, then it's not very secure now, is it? Because Microsoft knows how they've implemented their security system, and so Microsoft could use their internal knowledge of the implementation of the securities package in order to learn to spy on organizations' private data. So So they want to take that, they want to give that responsibility away. They don't want to take that responsibility, or else they would become liable for any security breach that occurs. That's my guess. Okay, I've said enough, and I'm going to experiment with this LSA anyway, and see if I learn anything new. And then I'll let you know. See you.